strong, so strong. My hair could lift a car off a baby if it had to. Absolutely. Well, I like to hear.
Hello, welcome to What the Flick. I'm Alonso, that's Matt, that's Christy.
Hello.
And we want your vote for the campaign. I don't even know what the hell to say about the campaign.
We want you to listen to us talking about the shitty movie. I'm sorry, they liked it better than I did.
So we're going to debate about the merits of this movie.
We are, and then we'll have negative campaigns about each other and how wrong we all are.
And we will endorse this message. So,
so this is a comedy from Jay Roach, director of what? All the Austin Powers movies? Did he do them all?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah.
Anyway, so Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis co-star as bitter rivals for the 14th district in North Carolina. Will Ferrell is the incumbent, but he is sleazy and poofy-haired and in a lot of trouble. So the good old boys who run the neighborhood recruit Zach Galifianakis, who is totally harmless and probably will be malleable and do what they want. And he maybe has a better shot than they expect. Take a look.
Cam Brady will win his 5th term in Congress simply by signing the registration ballot. That's one of the perks of running unopposed.
Let's get this bad boy signed.
I don't know if that's supposed to be pushing or pulling. Hey.
Who is that guy?
This has been my dream, running for office.
You're challenging our 4-term congressman. How do you expect to do that?
Did I say that again?
So this is a really funny movie for like the first 15 minutes. Right,
Oh,
and I feel like it's
totally
just
disagree.
it's a series of one-upmanship of them trying to sabotage each other. That is the entire plot, and they try to push it, really push it with shocking stuff that just feels desperate eventually.
I mean, it's weird. I remember we were talking about The Watch a couple weeks ago, and my whole thing was like, I don't care how stupid it is if you make me laugh, and The Watch didn't make me laugh. And this movie, I did laugh, so I got to give them points for that. Like, there's enough funny stuff going on that I laughed. At the same time, though, it seems to me if you're going to do a political satire in 2012, there is such a wealth of material in the world of politics right now to make fun of that it feels so spineless and trying to be inoffensive and not be too partisan in either direction. And it just kind of feels very safe. And that bugged me because while there are laughs to be found, there's this wealth of material they're just not going to because they want to. They're hedging their bets.
Right. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Once again, you two are trotting out old ideas that has kept this country from reaching its full
The same
potential.
old song we keep on hearing. No, but really, when it is rooted in a recognizable reality, I mean, there's a reference to a $900 haircut for the Will Ferrell character.
And the bad guys are clearly supposed to be the Koch brothers.
Right. The name is slightly different. Yeah. When it relies on stuff and becomes a real satire, it's very funny. When it spins off the rails and just tries to get crazy and shocking is when it falls apart.
That stuff was funny.
Did you?
I was laughing a lot in the movie. I thought, the baby punching. Right.
The first time the baby punching was funny.
No, but the follow-up to the baby punching is pretty great. You have to admit.
I thought that when Galifianakis' character is sitting around with his family at dinner and they're saying, okay, we need to talk about whatever secrets because we're going to be under a lot of scrutiny.
That's a good scene.
Like the stuff that comes up was hilarious, was shocking and awful, and really
But
funny.
at the same time, I kind of felt like Galifianakis has played this guy before, like with the pug and the sort of quasi effeminate thing. Like that what was the movie with Robert Downey Jr. where they rode?
Due Date?
Due Date.
He's weird. He's that kind of weird in The Hangover too, with the weird shirts.
Exactly. The turtlenecks under the cardigans, and it's like, that all felt really familiar, and I was kind of like, because I thought this would give him a chance to bust out something new and create this new character, and a lot of that felt familiar. I mean, a lot of it's still funny. I mean, I laughed consistently enough to this movie that I wasn't sitting there going, "Rrr." But at the same time, it just seems like if you watch any one episode of The Young Turks, or
The Daily Show,
or Rachel Maddow, or any other. I mean, there's so much craziness going on that you could really, and these guys are not unaware of that. I mean, Will Ferrell did a one-man show on Broadway about George W. Bush. Like, these are politically connected people. They know what's going on in the world. You could make a movie that would be equally offensive to liberals and conservatives, But they don't do that. It just seems like, well, why bother making a movie that's set in the world of politics if it's just going to be about? I mean, this movie could have been about two guys running for like the president of their local, Elks Lodge or something.
Right.
But if you're
that
going
would
to
have been funnier, actually.
yeah, but if you're going to make it political, then it needs to be more.
I don't think they were coming at this necessarily from a political, or if they set out to, what they ended up with was something closer to, if you made a movie about Ricky Bobby from Talladega Nights running for Congress, this is what you'd get. And I think it's more of the same kind of stuff that we've seen from Will Ferrell in the past with that and Anchorman. Now, I don't think this is as good as Anchorman was, but it's that same level of just zaniness. And I really liked it. I thought it was really funny consistently all the way through. Now, is this something that we've seen Will Ferrell do before? Yes.
Yes.
Is it something we've seen Galifianakis do before? Yes, it is. But I think when in a situation like this, they're doing something we've seen before, but they're still doing it really well, and I was okay with that here. It's like, you go see a band in concert, you're not necessarily expecting them to do new songs.
Shut up and play the hits.
Kind of,
But it gets so repetitive. Don't you think it is the same kind of joke over and over into like a slightly different degree?
It's a little repetitive, and the characters are kind of buffoonish and broad, and yeah, I mean, Ferrell is doing his sort of entitled dumb white guy bit.
Right.
But then you look at a movie like The Other Guys, where he totally puts a real spin on that, and it even, granted, not until the closing credits, but they threw in some sort of political, real world context of what's going on in that movie, and that's not even a specifically sort of, issue-driven film. So I don't know. It just seems to me like a wasted opportunity. I think these guys are really smart. They're really funny. They could have made real hay of the political scene of today, and they bobbled that.
You were looking for Wag the Dog.
or at least something between this and that, maybe. But I did. But again, I laughed. I will give it credit for that. The stuff that is in there made me laugh. I felt disappointed that that they didn't take more advantage of the setting that they chose to set their movie in.
And then it goes nice. It goes soft.
It does.
And goes nice. And it's such a 180, and again, that's safe too.
Yeah, no, it's a very toothless
life-affirming.
ending. Yeah.
Yeah, I laughed almost throughout the entire movie. I thought it was consistently funny through the whole thing. It did get sillier and sillier. It did kind of abandon any pretense of doing sharp satire. When they get to the point that they're making the attack ads, like they're so ridiculous. They're so stupid. They're almost like something out of an Austin Powers type thing. Like they're so, they do at some point, by about the middle of the movie, I feel like they've kind of abandoned the real world. Almost completely.
Earlier.
Like maybe earlier.
After the first third.
I think they start doing things that would never ever happen.
I do want to give a shout out to Dylan McDermott.
I like
who
him
is
a lot
very
in this.
funny as the sort of
Yes.
dead-eyed political consultant who's
Now-
like always wearing black and just like super ruthless.
Go
Was
ahead.
it me or was there also a very quick cameo from Dermot Mulroney?
They mention him.
And I think he's actually in it.
Is he in it?
He's- When they're doing the scene where people turn to each other and do their little.
Oh.
Yeah, I
No,
think-
he's not the guy in the
Oh,
recliner.
really?
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
But I don't know. We'll check IMDb.
No, I don't
Anyway,
think he is.
Numbers.
I looked it up. Okay, so
It would
number,
be
yeah.
great to have Dylan McDermott Mulroney. And
They've been in movies together.
I was going to say,
think.
do you ever see him in the same place at the same
I think
time?
the universe did fold in on itself.
Okay, Matt,
What do you got?
give me a number.
7.5. I think it's hilarious. It's not quite Anchorman, but I think people are going to go apeshit over this movie.
Do you really?
I really do,
I think it's the
actually.
dead of August and this is going to tank.
No, I think it's going to do really well.
All right. What's our bet?
$20?
You want 20 bucks?
Something
involving alcohol?
This is so.
I'll buy it. Yes.
This is so Romney and his $10,000, with Rick Perry.
I'm confident this is going to do really well this week.
Okay,
I'm gonna say 6.5. There are worse ways to get air conditioned for 80 minutes. There are
It's a
laughs.
long
There
80
are
minutes.
laughs.
It feels a lot longer than 80 minutes. It's like
It does. I thought it whips
I think
by,
you're
but it's
completely wrong. Support the troops.
but it is.
And then his little mantra of what is it? Is it Jesus, country, freedom? Is that
American, yeah.
Jesus, America,
and he keeps saying
freedom.
012, which I thought was great.
They're little cute things. All right.
Anyway.
My number is 4. Because I hate freedom, as we all know. So that makes our average a 6. But
So-
it is higher than that in Tomato Land.
It's
It's like
currently the best reviewed thing opening this weekend. It's at 78.
79%.
So not a ringing endorsement from us, but we don't necessarily recommend that you stay home from the polls either.
I endorse this.
Bye.